Warning. You are about to watch a program that is setting the standard for YouTube content. We don't charge for access, we don't sell account reviews, and we don't pass the bill to you. YouTube is free, Discord is free, and that's exactly how it should be. Time to level up.
You're watching pressure, not panic, not chaos, just pressure. Because strength doesn't need to shout to be real. Becoming confident, convinced this space should crack. That numbers and noise will be enough, and the first attacks hit the wall the way they always do. But every unit they send, every strike they commit, it isn't breaking anything. It's feeding it. You can see the moment it sets in, when confidence turns into hesitation. So they push harder, more attacks, more resources, more effort stacked on top of bad math. Fires don't start here. They start on the way out. Because this wall wasn't built for highlights. It was built for endurance. Wave after wave, the result stays the same. Because defense here isn't passive, it's patient. This is what happens when pressure meets structure, when noise meets restraint, when ego meets a wall that doesn't care. Welcome to WWC Live.
Welcome in, WWC. What's going on? What is going on? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday indeed. Let me get my chat up. Hold on. Gotta see the people. Get everything up. I mean, that's some of my favorite part of the show is keeping that going. All right. What's up, MZ? Welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, Killer B. Before, nice to see you always. Always. The nicest humans to deal with. And let's see. Chicken Charlie. Good morning, buddy. Welcome into you. Welcome into you. Man, so many things going on. So many things transpiring. First of all, went out last night. Friday night. We actually, for one of the first times, we took in a movie. We went out to the movies. Boy, we saw this movie, Obsession, this new horror movie. Holy shit, is it awesome. It was absolutely incredible. So, for all you looking for an activity to do with the misses or the misters, by all means, take in, I know it's weird. It's weird to say, but go to the movies and check this thing out. I mean, if you like horror movies, and by the way, it's one of those to me like a horror movies that comes out that's really kind of different. You know, like Get Out type different things that surprise you. Not for somebody who doesn't like horror movies. So if you are not into that genre, this is not something I'd mix into your life. But it was fantastic. So I'd give that a shout out. Let's see, Mario, what's up? Netherlands. Shout out to 18. Whoa. Shout out to 1837. Wait a minute. What is this double shout out stuff there, Mario? This double, this server sharing stuff. I gotta know. Well, what's up with that, brother? What's going on? Why two servers? I need a good reason why there's two servers there. Because it's very difficult to manage and give love to one server. Never mind, you're managing 2 servers. I feel like somebody's getting short-ended by you. Who is it? Which one's your home? Because I don't think they're both your home. Anyway, busy show today. Busy show. We will get to account reviews. We have some battle reports to look at today. I also Global Expedition. We have our contest. So just so you're aware, if you're watching, you're catching up, whatever. Some contest rules to be aware of. $25 in bricks is the contest. I'll say this ahead of time, and you can kind of get your stuff in and think about it. It's really, can you beat this? Is the name of the game. Can you beat this? And so we have the computer here, and you submit your lineups. And if your lineup beats the computer, $25 in bricks. That's the name of the game. That's the fun of it. So we will have you submit your lineup and let us know, and then we'll try them. You let us know in the chat, and you try them. I will give you one caveat. You can play. However, you're only eligible to win the $25 in bricks if you were part of the community. So if you were part of our Discord and you were a member of our Discord before today, then you are eligible. It's really something we do on purpose because we don't like to run these sort of things, contest, sweepstakes, stuff like that, just to necessarily get people in to play. We do it more for the community and for the actual people who are part of the community. We don't like to just get people to come in just for contests and sweepstakes, because then you just end up with a community full of people that don't really care about the community. They just want free bricks. And, not really interested, to be honest with you. We're not looking to just grow it to show like a big number, like, hey, we have 7,000 people, but only like 500 really care or participate in the community. We're actually trying to build a community. Like actually of people who want to be part of it, message, ask questions, help other people. That's one of the big things about the WWC. I mean, if you love to help other people play the game, that's who we want you to be part of. If not, it's no big deal. It's no hard feelings. It's just probably not necessarily your thing. There's a million other communities to go join. That's really what this community was meant to be and is. So we're going to have this contest, $25 in bricks for those that are part of the community, and you submit it. Now, we did this the other day, and I just did tanks. So I'm going to open it up for Area 1, and we're also going to do Area 2. I'll continue this tomorrow night's show. We'll do Area 1 and 2. Then we will turn it over and just do Area 3 on Monday, and then we'll probably finish it off, depending on the timing, maybe on that Wednesday, I think, our final day. We can do it. All right, thanks. This is 4 days left after a reset. 4 days left to reset tonight. So then there'll be 3 days left to reset Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, yeah. So we'll figure it out. We'll do a show so that everybody gets the opportunity to do all 4 areas to participate. But that will be today. Sandboxing, love it, by the way. So you'll submit your lineup in chat. Now, one other rule I just want to say for this is if somebody else submits the same lineup as you, whoever submitted it in the chat first would end up getting the $25 of bricks. Okay, so have that. Also, you'll know ahead of time if you're listening to this on Spotify, because we are on Spotify now. So if you're going to listen to this on Spotify after we air or whatever, just know tomorrow we're going to do the same thing. So you have the opportunity to get those lineups in order. Which one do you want to do? Which one do you want to submit? And submit them up. So again, Area 1 is tanks and Area 2 is missile. And important information to know while you're thinking about what lineup to submit. I'm going to give you a little tip, because what you should be doing, and that's why we do these things to begin with, so we learn and teach the community. Marshall is back left. That should mean something to you when you're submitting a lineup. Marshall is back left. Okay? Just saying. Just putting it out there, folks. Putting it out there. All right. Let's go. Mario, what do you got? Well, actually 3 servers. Oh, man. But stop playing the first. And I'm R4 on 1837 and teacher on 2006. Okay, so in other words, your claim is 1837. That's where you spend the majority of your time. I think that's it. I bring that out, Mario, because I think it's very important to have that conversation with people. There's a lot of people that are spending multiple times on multiple servers. And really, a server is going to get short-ended. That's what I've learned in my many days of playing the game, is very few people have time to actually commit to 2 servers. So people that have multiple servers, it's really for chat or play, you know what I mean? Like messing around. Everybody can only really have 1 server. And it's important to point that out because, you can't have, it's so difficult. Unless you're not working, unless you're retired, and you have all day to play this game, it's so difficult to give your all to multiple servers. So, important thing to call out, Mario. So shout out to 1837 and a teacher over here on 2006. So a man giving back to the community. Love you being here as part of WWC. So good stuff indeed, my man. When one season ends, the other starts a season, so I can switch focus and I can work from home. So got plenty of time. Yeah, plenty of time. Slow down. You do have to have a life there, Mario. You do have to have a life. Okay, so let's get into some fun. So we have season 6 stuff, right? So we are now coming up on, I think this is the end of, is this end of week 3 or week 4? I've lost track of time at this point. It's one of those, I guess. But I can tell you where we are. We have 22 days left in the season. Nothing has changed in regards to how much I like this season. Nothing changes in how much the majority of people that have reached out to me like this season. It's just overall great vibes. A matter of fact, this season has really been a continuation of how good this game has been to everybody as we progress. So really something to look forward to for all of you that are going to make the season even better when they do, rewards. They get out some of the kinks and stuff like that as it rolls out. This is going to be a good one to look forward to for all of you newer server people. So 22 days left. One of the things I am still doing, by the way, I wanted to point out was I'm still only working my main totem. Actually, a battle report to share with you guys, a couple real quick for my personal battles. As you guys know, I said I went out last night, and all I was doing is sandboxing. Man, I was spending hours just sandboxing. A lot of the videos I put out, I don't think people understand. Like, I'm not just doing a couple battles and then looking for clicks of videos. I'm literally helping you, show you what happens when I run battles over and over, like hundreds of battles is what I'm running. And I'm showing you the results of those battles, right? So we do stuff here. We show you, like, we'll do 5-5 here, and we'll show you, like, the results on paper. But I can promise you, it doesn't end there. Hundreds of battles. So we're getting ready for the movies. Of course, I'm sandboxing, having drinks, wake up. Maybe, like, sometimes there's somebody who's, hungover. I don't know who that is. It happens from time to time to people I've heard. So when you pick up war, you're not always, ready to go. And you should be. It's a horrible lesson. You should actually always be ready to go. There's no excuse. But I want to show you a battle report that we had earlier. So we have somebody incredibly strong, as you guys know, in the season. We have this guy, Jimmy Wick. Who he is. Actually, a nice guy now. So I was fighting, and he couldn't get through my walls. We've had reports where he couldn't break my walls. I think I have one earlier when we were doing this. Here he was coming here. I wanted to show the difference between the season because we had just come out of the season, and what the difference really the battle cards do. So this is how the season started. He's 104.4 and I'm 87.3, right? And so I want to show you a battle report here. And really it's more looking at the battle card. So you can see here the battle card difference. And this is why I'm surviving. You don't have to look at anything other than why I tell you the importance of tactic cards. That's what this is about. I will tell you season 4, season 5, season 6. Take tactic cards serious. And when I say serious, I mean, well, what else are you going to do with battle cards? You need to make sure you are getting every single thing out of all your battle cards that you can. you need to sell battle cards to get the tactical points in order to lift the battle cards up. You need to organize what you're going to do. Change your battle cards depending on what you're doing. Are you defending? Are you battling? What are you doing? Because you want to have the right battle cards in. It's an incredibly important tool the game gives you. And if you are not using it, and you are not using it properly, you are doing yourself a disservice. Because it's really allowing you, with all this stuff that we hear about, I don't spend and they're too strong and, blah, blah, blah. The game is allowing you to spend money using these battle cards, essentially. Because it's giving you free power. What people are sitting there and paying for, usually in the off season, you are getting to boost yourself up and use your battle cards right. And I can tell you, I see it all the time. Free to play and low spenders are not using these battle cards properly. They're not. We go over it over and over again, but they are not using them to their advantage. It's incredible to watch. And it's like a firm understanding. I don't want to understand them. I don't want to. But listen, guys, it's incredibly important to do. So you can see here this battle. I would have lost this battle during the season, and I was only able to hang into this battle, 1-for-1 because of that. So this is what it was like at the beginning of the season. So today, when I was fighting, all of a sudden, Jimmy was breaking through my walls. Now, incredibly strong, granted. I was like, okay, so he's strong. But why is he able to go through my walls? This doesn't make any sense whatsoever as he's hitting me. So I'm trying to put two and two together. And then you don't have to do much, but look at the battle report and understand. And I show you this, number one, because all you sandboxers out there in the WWC, it's an easy mistake to make. Very easy, number one. Number two, I want to show you the importance of gear, right? So what do I always tell you when we do our account reviews? We look at the battle reports and I analyze, and I tell you the two most important things in this game to continue through are those exclusive weapons and the gear, right? And what do I always tell you as my advice as I go through? Bullseye, get your prints, find a way, we're going to do this. I want to organize you. I want to get you more prints over here. Collect your prints, get your honor points, move to the number one team. You got to get honor points. If you can't get in Desert Storm and you can't get in Winter Storm, drop down to the second alliance in your server so you can participate in those events to get the honor points, because gear out of there. What do I always say about the honor store? There's only two things that exist: blueprints, regular and mythic. As you move forward and get, I think season 4 or season 5, mythic starts popping up in there. I think season 5. Get your mythic prints, get your blueprints. That's the only thing you should be spending in an honor store. I don't give a shit who tells you, oh, you can get this bond badge, is a good deal, blah, blah, F off. Blueprints are the only thing that should exist in that honor store. That's it. Okay, you want to tell you why I say that and why I'm constantly doing it? Let's look at this battle. I got my ass kicked. I got wiped out. Okay, why? Well, because QB over here forgot to put his prints on Adam. No gear. No gear on Adam. Completely wiped out. Now, you want to see the difference between somebody who's 111.9 hitting me with no gear on one hero. One hero, guys. Now, I want to show you what happens when I correct this. No wall. Does not get through the wall. Can't even get to the third team. One hero. Can't even get to the third team in these battles. And by the way, that's with protectors. That's with protectors. I think I have a regular, let me see if I have a regular fight. That's when I attacked. Is this a regular one? Okay, here's a regular one. Look at the difference. Look at 3206 to 4379. And by the way, part of the reason is because of this. I also want to say it's stronger than earlier in the season. I just got to show you earlier in the season. The protectors added 3 million onto that protector battle. So normally 108. However, you can see he's stronger. Why is he much more stronger? Has he gained more than me in the season? Well, he actually pushed Diva to 3 stars, and I don't have Tesla out yet. So I think it's another thing to highlight on this is, I've heard way too much about people who, listen, we started WWC because the reporting on YouTube is irresponsible. Like a lot of videos that are made, it's completely irresponsible. People don't find information, they're looking for clicks. And it absolutely drove us nuts enough where we actually made a friggin' YouTube account 9 months ago. So we got tired of people looking for clicks instead of giving people valuable information. So that's why you may see me take a little while to make videos and come out and do this stuff, right? And so you have people that are reporting back and forth, It doesn't matter. These things, the awakening doesn't matter. Oh, it does matter. It doesn't matter. Listen, awakening is fantastic. You can watch my awakening videos to show you. There's definitely proof of how good it is. We have it. The battle reports don't lie. That's what we should be using anyway to gauge anything. This will show you right here his increase here. If you saw before, he was taking 3,500, I think, when the season started, and only 32 to 35. He's now up to the 43. That would be the big difference here, though. 3 stars on Diva. And yes, she is incredibly strong. I actually think 4 would be great. But yeah, incredibly strong. Love it. It's so good. So, yeah, anyway, so you look at the battle report and you could see the difference. Coming back to what I was saying, though, look at the difference in gear. It literally dropped it by half. He was able to break through all 3 teams, all 3, and take over 8,000 in this battle, right? It said like 8,000 in there. And guys, 1 hero didn't have gear. If that doesn't tell you how freaking powerful gear is. And I get you can look at it and say, well, yeah, but all the gear was off. 1 hero. Everybody else is mythic. 1 hero made the difference of 3 people on my wall. So if you don't think that gear is a pivotal point in this game, it is. It is absolutely the number one thing to get your team started. I also know this because I've started 3 teams now. I'm working on my tank team. Actually, we're almost done putting all the prints on tank. Okay, I didn't get to this one. I didn't get to the one that actually went through and failed. This one. Okay, cool. Yeah. Use this show you tank. So the gear that I have left on my tank right now is only Murphy and Williams. Guns. Everything else is maxed. Everything else is maxed finally. It took time to build this team, but this will show you, like, this is my 3rd team that I've built. So from scratch, I had to build my first team, I had to build my second team, and then I had to build my 3rd team out and figure out and got to watch on all 3 teams what made the biggest difference. Building the skill chips, building the masteries, building the gear. You could see it. And I can tell you right now that the biggest difference of the team that made me be able to survive battles, not survive battles, but be in battles, 100% is gear. 100%. It's unbelievable how important having gear on your heroes is. A matter of fact, I have a 4th team that once I max this out, because not only do I have all the gear, but I'm almost 4.4. I think I only have Marshall's gun and one line on his shield left. And then I'll have every single piece of gear at 4.4. So I'm almost like completely done with the gear in the 3rd team, which I'm going to say something out loud I never thought I would say in this game. Eventually, I will be putting the gear on the 4th team now. It's crazy. So I'll be building my 4th team that you all watch. But I actually am very excited to build my 4th team because unlike other people, I'm going to dive into this 4th team. Let's get busy. Let's dive into it and see, like, can we make this 4th team stronger? Can we make it viable in any way to be in a battle for a 4th team? I can't wait. Sandboxing. You thought sandboxing before when I was using this. Now we get to take a non-EW weapon team and see if we can make it viable in any way, shape, or form. So there's going to be a crap ton of experimenting going on, which means I'll probably have to start using my skill medals on the 4th team because I don't really do that right now. I'm still working on my tank team to get the heroes up, but for experimental purposes and for the purpose of this WWC, I think I will actually be lifting their skills up so you guys get to see the benefit of some of these folks and heroes and see them in action of what it's doing. And once I can max out their skills, I'll be able to insert them into other teams and do. I mean, it's endless how much sandboxing we can do. I love it. But yeah, how important is gear? How important is gear? I think this highlights it for you. So make sure you guys are taking that seriously, putting your gear up in the right spots and doing it. I saw that was crazy difference in that fight. Also, while I'm looking at battle reports, while we are doing that, let me pull out my man. Let me pull out my man. Man's not still have such a problem with chat. Okay. Here's some a battle report. So let's go in and look at Segi. Segura has been with us in when we were our team that migrated to 118. When I say us, and he is absolutely incredible, like before. Awesome dude. He was with 72X. He came over to us and never looked back. And he is a classic example of somebody who plays this game, free to play. He might spend a little bit here and there, but he's on the come up. He is straight up fighter. He was fit into our 72X as we went forward. And if you look here, his power 323. He's not breaking any records. If you come in and look at, let me go show you in our members list so we can look at battles. Important. Actually, did he just move up to? Did he just move up to R3? I think he just said that. I think he moved up. I think he moved up to R3. Is he in here? Let's see. I don't know. I'm probably missing him. I thought he did. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know where he's at. But he's not going to break any records in regards to his power. But it's his fighting, and it's an important thing to say. Somebody with this type of power, 323 million right now, he fights. That's what he does. He fights. And you can see here, he has 30 million kills. He's constantly fighting. And so today, he was fighting, and he took on people that are incredibly powerful. Like, he's 68.5, and he's beating Endless, who is incredibly strong. 420 million. You look at where Endless ranks in the 169 rankings, and he is where he's 17th in these rankings. Now Segura would probably be way down in the 118 rankings, but he was able to win this battle. Same with he was able to beat Jimmy Wick. Funny. Good going, Segura. And this is all about timing. So Jimmy had taken down his walls for a different. He's not taking down his walls necessarily for Segura, right? But he's taking down his walls, and Segura's able to catch him with his walls down. That's the important part, right? So it's all about timing in these situations where you can have somebody who's essentially like a VIP 18. Just, I mean, I don't know if Jimmy's. I don't know if Jimmy's officially a VIP 18. I don't really know. But he's strong enough to be. If he's not, he is. He's what, 400 million power. I would imagine he is. And Segura is able to beat him, right? So this is all about timing, folks. This is about watching and hitting people at the right time when you're in a battle, paying attention on what people are doing. You see people and it's also an important part to be on Discord calls, because on Discord calls, people are communicating that information. If you're thinking, well, in a battle, how am I supposed to tell them whatever? Well, that's the feedback that you get from your team. That's why successful alliances and successful teams are always on Discord calls, because then you can communicate with everybody. This is going on. That's going on. I'm over here. Get over there. Blah, blah, blah. Right? That's the important part that you have happen. So somebody like Segura gets to take advantage of that if he hears it. Oh, somebody's got their walls down. Oh, I'm going to wait for the right opportunity, right? Or sometimes people like to drop their walls right before a rally hits, so they don't want to get hit by the rally. You guys have seen me do that many a time, right? Well, if you send a squad over and then wait for that rally to hit, and at the same time you go to attack, a lot of times you get to sneak an attack in where the rally hits an empty wall, but then you get to hit an empty wall too. So you're helping. They don't even have to send a rally. You've just cut their time in half trying to port somebody, because you're able to hit somebody and get them out. So it doesn't matter your strength. I don't care where you land in total hero power. If you know how to play the game and you know how to fight, you can do anything to help your team in battle, even when it's a stronger player. If you're timing it right and you're paying attention and you're on Discord and you're doing those things. So, it's very important. We talk about this stuff all the time in server wars when Somebody sends a force squad out. Make sure you watch, because you can have, your fourth team can go and hit them and take some from them, right? So it's all about paying attention in battle. So nice work, Segura. Awesome job. Guys, just continuing to build and be with us. God, big fan of Segura. Oh, MC, is he? Jimmy's 18? I thought so. I thought he was. I don't know. When I don't know, I don't like to, unlike something, I don't like to make claims. Like, if somebody's not, they're not. I don't know. I'll let you know that they're not. Let's see. What up, Dan? Aircraft is the weakest right now, sir. I would say aircraft is. Why do we think aircraft is the weakest right now? Diva's Awakening is incredibly strong. Where about would if you have Diva's Awakening to 4-star, why do you feel it's the weakest? I'll tell you, I think there was some false claims about the Awakening. I think there were back and forth. People can't make it their mics. You don't actually do the testing. You don't know. But, there was some claims that the Awakening, was too strong, and then the Awakening wasn't doing much and stuff like that. Listen, the Awakening probably wasn't doing much. The developers tweaked it and made it so she hit the back row. So I think early on, I had made this in the video to kind of show that early on, if you had looked at this and did testing from like our OG servers, you would have probably got it wrong that how powerful she really is, because by moving her to prioritizing the back row has actually upped her strength quite a bit, and that only is going to increase with 4 stars, and it totally makes sense. I mean, granted, having her prioritize front row is interesting for front hero attacks, but if you move everybody to the back, it completely minimizes the power of the Awakening. Sure, it makes Air vulnerable to a stun by trying to put her in the back, no doubt. Makes Skylar's exclusive level 30 skill really important. But I can tell you, by allowing her to prioritize back row enemies, it just makes more damage overall. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's obvious. And I think, like, a lot of people aren't, if you're not committed to Air, then you're not seeing the true bump that happens in this Awakening. Even the ones that we're testing, right? We're testing at 2 stars here to just show you how much of a bump you're getting from 1 to 2 to 3. And I'm only on 2 right now for Diva. But I could tell you, any of these Awakening stars, moving them to 40, Awakening skills, moving them to 40% damage is enormous. All you're seeing is the effect of 20% damage. Seeing it doubling that to getting an extra 40%, yeah, that's huge. You can't just minimize that and think that that's not, a big thing. They're doing that like for a reason to spend. You just have to choose how you want to spend these stars and do them out. I personally think I've seen all of these heroes get 4-star at 40% damage. To me, that's like the most important. I want that over the 5-star, right? Like I want the 5-star. You get the duration by 1 second is going to make that damage happen longer and up it, multiply it. But I think if you looked at the difference what I'm going to want to do with the sandbox, now that we're doing all of this and we're comparing star by star, and what I'm going to be able to show you is the difference between them. My prediction would be, when I show you the damage difference between 2 stars and 4 stars, it's going to be massively different than going from 4 stars to 5 stars. That would be what I predict. That's why we sandbox this thing, to find out the truth of what happens, but that would be what I predict. That the difference between 2 and 4 is way different than 4 to 5. And the reason why I bring that up is because you'd have to make a decision at that point, especially if you use 2 teams. Is it worth it to get to your T1 4 to 5, or is it more worth it to get that second team from 2 to 4? Right? There's a big difference in how you're going to spend your shards. And so that's what we need to really figure out. And I will be doing that with the Tesla, because in Tesla, I will be able to test 1 star to 2 star to 3 star to 4 star. I'm going to show you all of it, the breakdown of the percentage increases of every single star, so you know how to spend your shards. Because that's what I want to know as well. I want to know the difference between all of the upgrades of the stars and the percentages of damages that you're getting by increasing those stars, and what it means. But let's see, MZ, air feels weak currently, but we don't know how strong is exactly my point, MZ. Thank you. Totally agree. I would 100%, Mario, agree with MZ's statement. I think you cannot compare air, especially as a T1. If people with their T1 are using air, yeah, it's going to amplify. And let's slow down with air, by the way. Air has been incredibly strong for a long period of time. I think the developers needed to tweak things a little bit to bring air back down to earth. Because what air was able to do, we've talked about this for months, right? Anybody who's been on here that was a tank team, anybody who's on here to air, go look at my YouTube comments of people that just tear apart tank. Tank's a piece of shit. Tank sucks. Tank sucks. Why would I do tank? Tank. Move the air. I mean, it's just constant. There's a reason why. It's the number one team in the game. Around where we are, season 4, season 5, season 6, it was the number, like, more people had air teams than any other team. Now it's starting to get a little bit more mixed because basically higher end players, anybody who has a strong account has 3 teams. They've really locked in 3 teams at this point. Like even myself, you're at my level now from a whale. So anybody that's stronger than me is already in 3 teams and locked in. Majority of people, I would say. I wouldn't say all. Some people have prioritized full tactical over mastery, and if you've done that, then they're probably a little still behind on their 3rd team. But anybody who's completed all 3 masteries, and there's a lot of people above myself who have done that, it's interchangeable. Like, they can't say air anymore for them. But the predominant people from mid spender, mid spender, low, like, there's so many air squads, it's ridiculous. They've just maxed them out from season 3, 4, and 5. Now, why would they do that? It was the Murphy 4+1. Like, even without the battle card, it was OP. And we said it was OP, especially in season 4, right? It was absolutely absurd how strong they made it in season 4. When that 4+1 card came out and you had that. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't just that team. If you haven't been in season 4 yet, it's not just that team that's OP. It's also Marshall with Missile. Both of those teams. Marshall with Missile and Murphy with Air. When you start season 4 and you get that 4+1 battle card, Jesus, I don't know if they're gonna change the meta to drop that down a little bit. But I'll tell you what, when we played it, it was astronomically OP. It was crazy. Both those teams. It was like you were tackling stuff you should not have. And now they had to tweak it a little bit. They had to bring it down to earth, right? It doesn't make the game more interesting when you do that anyway. Make the game more interesting when stuff gets changed a little bit and you tweak things around. And what were we saying since we've started? For 9 months we've been doing the WWC. We've been saying to tank people all the way since they've been starting. Oh, I'm going to switch to air. I'm going to switch. And what do I always say? Stick with what team you have. The best thing you can do as a free-to-play and low spender is stick to the team that you've invested in. Period. You've already invested your skills, your skill chips, your master, everything you're pushing for T1. You don't have to flip it. Don't feel like it. I understand you're getting beat early on and you're like, oh, these air teams are too strong. But it comes full circle as you move forward. It's all about the counters. This game is all about countering. 3v3 is trying to teach you that. 3v3 is showing you how to play above your head. They're showing you. The difference is people only do it in 3v3. They don't take that same mentality and that same knowledge and take it to the battlefield. The game is letting you beat people who are stronger than you every single day when you have 3v3. You just have to learn from it. That's the way to play the game. You're going to be able to beat people more with counters than you are direct. If somebody's got a 70 million team, if you're thinking the best way to beat them is a straight shot arrow of getting stronger than them, you're wrong. The best shot is not to go, oh, they have a 70 million, I'm going to go a 71 million. No, that is not the best way. That's the most expensive way to do it, but it is not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is making sure that you have a counter team. And that, unfortunately, free to play and low spend it's more important for you to be done with your T1 so you can start talking about a T2. When you start turning, you start splitting resources early on, you don't get to cap that T1 out, and you don't get the experience of being able to switch your teams. You don't get that opportunity because you split things too early. Did it with the mastery. I tried to tell you with the mastery. Everybody with the 40-40 to get that. I got to get the tactical. I'm going to do 40-40. All it does is set you back. I'm showing right now how long it takes to go to mastery. We started this tank mastery on February 1st. I am still at like 75%, 76%. It's going to take you 6 friggin' months to complete a mastery. So yeah, it's important to get that mastery up to 80% on your T1. You don't want to do your T1 and have the opportunity to have a T2, but you can't because you still have 60% of your mastery left. Why? You could have only had 20% of your mastery left and had a second solid team that you're about to build. You know, it's like these little mistakes that you can make along the way that drag out the game to make it a different experience. The people who add the stuff like this and strategize and get that second solid team going and to counter and move things around, you're going to have a different game experience. The people that make missteps along the way are going to drag this out to mediocrity because that's all you're doing. You're having two average. I'm gonna sit here and have two. It's the reason why people ask me all the time. If people come high spenders, ask me all the time, you know, advice on what they're building and how they're doing it. My advice is to build your second team out. Even when you have the resources and the money and you're spending in the game and you're looking at a third team, I wouldn't do a third team right away. I personally think it's better to have 2 elite teams. It's better that way. You're more competitive that way. When you can have your first hold your base while your second goes out and fights, and your second is strong enough that it does, that's awesome. When you're trying to go along and build out the 3 teams as you build out, it's very difficult, unless you're a real high spender. It's very difficult to do this 3v3 strategy in a real world where you're not spending high. And I mean, even above me, what I was spending. You had to be higher to do that. Otherwise, you're just running around with 1 elite team and 2 mediocre teams. And yeah, eventually you'll get to the point of lifting them both at the same time. But the difference is, while we're playing, my second team is elite, and it's going to be able to fight and do all kinds of things. Your second team is an elite, and your third team is an elite. It's mediocre. It's like, okay. But you don't need mediocre. You need elite when you have one team that has to hold down you. When your main team has to hold down your base, you need your first team to be able to beat. And this is advice for season 2, 3, 4, and 5 people that are getting stronger, right? As you move in towards season 5, season 6, it doesn't really matter. People's walls get to be so damn strong, you can't make it through anyway. So it doesn't matter. I mean, look at somebody like a perfect example today. What did I just show you a battle report? Jimmy Wick, right? VIP 18. And you look at myself, I'm not the strongest guy in the world. I'm like 8th on my server. But the walls in this game are so strong now. It's very difficult. And that's why, to me, I call the Overlord a second Overlord a bunch of bullshit. You can't have a second Overlord right now. People are struggling right now to get through people's walls. You're going to give them a second Overlord to put on their wall? Oh, Jesus. That's crazy. That's just that's because you don't tell me you don't play the game without telling me it. That's what that shows me. If you actually fight and play this game, you know a second Overlord is nonsense. Hurts the game more than it helps it. So, yeah, I mean, right now, the way I'm looking at these teams, I don't see Air as a weak team at all. I think that there's a huge difference for Air in raising the Awakening Stars up and taking full advantage of this, unlocking this Diva skill, which I've shown in the sandbox is incredibly strong. I also showed you incredibly for Air as the formation. Formation matters, especially when you're fighting tank teams, right? Now, long ago are the days where everybody can say, "Oh, tank sucks." It's never necessarily sucked. There's always been elite skills on tank that people didn't have. It's strengthened as we moved forward. 100% it's strengthened. You had great skills that were developed. Overwhelm, I mean, who didn't want Williams to 30? It's phenomenal. It's great skill. Already Murphy, you don't even have to get Murphy to 30 to see how powerful. Just get it in 10. You see how strong Murphy is. Murphy's so strong the air teams are just raking him over, right? Stetman, right? Blocking a stun. Stetman's 30, how strong that was to make him stronger than Kim. Yeah, so there were things that Tank did along the way to continue to raise its being viable. But it was always viable. It just wasn't because more teams used air than anything else. Tank people got frustrated because so many people had air. And it was the counter rules, right? I mean, you don't think missile people were frustrated by... I always had this conversation with Clam Hammer, who was in 71. Love the guy. Shout out to Clam Hammer. He's now on 82 with my man Hulk over on top. Shout out to Top, by the way. Amazing team on 82. But Clam Hammer always, when I fought him, I was in 72, he was in 71. I was stronger than him. I was always stronger than him. And when I got in battles with FS4 back in the day when we got into wars, he used to frustrate the hell out of me. And that's how we actually became closer. I messaged him all the time. He was one of the few that held out with a strong tank team. And I had a missile. And he used to give me fits. I always had to have and worry about where he was and what he was doing because I had to keep my one in to protect against him because he would eat my missile up and I had to have my wall protected. So it made it very difficult for me to fight because I didn't have a third team that necessarily could support. And I'm fighting with my elite second team. But if I did it around him, sometimes he could actually get through my one and I had to protect. And that was having a badass tank team that was probably 5 million less than me in power, and he was just countering it. So don't think that people weren't respecting tank, that missile people weren't respecting strong tank people. Of course they were. It's just, again, it's all perception. It's what you watch, online or what you see in the game is mostly air teams. And so they're picking on tank teams, and then, people are few and far between with tanks. But tank was strong. That's my point. It was always there. That's why I said just continue to build it. And now, yeah, tanks reaping the benefits. I mean, if they're fighting air, one of the strongest skills in the game is martial targeting. It always has been. It didn't all of a sudden just become one of the strongest skills in the game. It's always been there. It's always been one of the strongest skills. And if you're putting Marshall across from Diva, I mean, yeah, they're gonna whoop ass. They're gonna clean up air, right? And so, reason why I bring that up is because part of the sandboxing that we've shown is what makes a difference is formation. You can't always just say, "Oh, air sucks. I lost a battle." Where's your formation? What does it look like? What are you doing? How are they lined up? Right? If you're seeing somebody who's hitting you and walloping you, and you look at the battle report on the spot, and they're whooping you because Marshall is aligned across from Diva, on the spot, you can change your formation and that person might not beat you. Yes, that easy. That easy. Stick Murphy across from Marshall and see if they're winning. Because my guess is you can completely flip the battle right on the battlefield. Especially because, by the way, there's still not a ton of hard-ass tank teams out there. But yeah, I don't view it as a bad team. I don't think that all of a sudden the people who are using air, who are coming up in this game, should switch, knowing that air gets brought down to earth a little bit. Air is incredibly strong. Stick with it. I believe when we lift this Awakening Star up, I think you're going to see the value. And honestly, I think that they've evened things out. So the general opinion is that people lean too much. I think in this game, we go a little too far with claims. That's all. Is air? I think the better way to say it is air is nowhere near as dominant as it was in the prior 3 seasons. If that's the claim we're making, I am behind you 100%. If we start making claims that air sucks, I think we took the argument too far. That's the basis to me. You start getting in, even on YouTube and stuff, when you hear these things, it's clickbait nonsense. That's the clickbait, right? So helping the community is saying that air is not as dominant as it once was when you get to season 6 due to many elements, by the way. Tank actually developing good exclusive weapons as you move across, people pushing those exclusive weapons more, the Overlord being able to take more damage on those teams, especially a tanky team like Tank. Tank needs time to buff, right? So as this game progresses, it's not also a coincidence that as we've moved to Season 6 and people have their Overlord stronger, and it can absorb more damage, and it can make the battle last longer, that tanks are benefiting from that. It's a tanky team. It needs time. Air doesn't want you to have time. Air is shock and awe. Air gonna hit you hard. Skylar's gonna friggin' stun you. Skylar's gonna go through the skill set. You're gonna get it to exclusive 30. It's gonna stun somebody in that back row, and it's gonna instantly take them out. Sometimes twice. Even a person stronger than you. You're gonna watch Tank. It's gonna stun somebody like you're facing a like another air team, and you're stunning the first skill cycle on Diva. Right? And then sometimes, by the way, she's guaranteed one stun, but she can get a second stun on the first run. Do you know what it's like to fight an air team and be able to not have Diva and Morrison not skill cycle on the first hit when you watch the battle report? You know the difference in Air? Air's trying to end that battle. Air's not built to fight a drawn out battle. They're ready to stun you and take you out. That's the battle. That's how it works. That's how the meta's built. And what's Tank do? Tank slowly builds. Marshall is slowly buffing, right? And then all of a sudden, you've seen this a million times. You have Tank hang around. Oh, I got Tank. Look, they're almost dead. And then who comes along? Friggin' Kim, right? Bam, 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 bam. You're dead in 2 seconds. Flips the battle. That's how it works. So this has always kind of been developing. So if an Overlord is giving Tank more team, those battles are lasting a little bit longer. It's good. So I think both things have happened to come to the conclusion that we're seeing now. Air's been brought down to earth a little bit with the strength of the other teams, also countering Murphy, the 4+1 team that they've had for an advantage for a long time. And I think Tank has continued to develop to get stronger and utilize the Overlord skills to its advantage, and it's culminating to a place where 3 teams are viable, depending on who you're fighting and why the counter fighting is so important. All right, MZ, what do you got? Victory against stronger air squads as a tank main never felt. Right, exactly. I totally agree. I'm with you on that, MZ. I bet you it's awesome, especially the bullshit that you've been through if you've been main tank for a long time. Good for you for building it out, because I tell you what, you've already been given missile fits. I bet. I mean, shit, like strong tank. Yeah, you hate to see a strong tank in the battlefield if you're a missile. You're like, son of a bitch, they switched the tank. Hey, headquarters 18 at the hunter event. I already got the gorilla as a low spender. Should I keep topping for its items or take the valor medal instead? Oh, go for valor. Go. Don't worry about the overlord. Don't spend any time with the Overlord. Don't worry about it. You'll slowly build that Overlord. The bounty event, you can do some the bond rating and get that up. That's worth it, because ultimately it gets the defense up for the Overlord. So, and we've talked about this in the past, but just a quick spotlight. When you're going to look at the Overlord, this is what you want, is the bond rating. You want to get the resistance to damage 45%. Always think of the Overlord as an absorber. It's absorbing damage for you. That's all it's doing. It's not giving you any kind of, offense. Don't worry about it. It's absorbing that damage. And then its skills are really defensive as well for the most part. It's weakening the other team. If you look at the 2 skills that really matter, you have Brutal Roar, where it's draining the other team and increasing your crit rate. Right, so it's more of like a buff almost. It's not doing anything offensively; it's just buffing. And then its armor is also really good in impacting it. So it's just a defensive buffing hero. But none of this stuff you need to push, right? Like all this stuff will come with time. You don't need to really. It's the Overlord power is not the way it seems. If somebody could have a 10 million advantage, and if it's with the Overlord, you could easily lose that battle. So I would not be putting too much concern or worry into it. I would be prioritizing your valor. Tech is way more important than the Overlord is. And you cannot have enough valor. Even earlier in the game, if you think you have enough valor, you can't. And I know other people have problems. Like, it depends on what slows you down. Some people are like, I have 85,000 valor because they don't have any gold. I get it. But some of those things will, as you move forward, you should be able to figure out how to iron those things out in saving and spending and builds that aren't taking. So a lot of the non-valor tech that eats up a lot of your gold early on starts to get done and finished. I think it's part of the reason why they might be not doing non-valor tech. I think they need to figure out how to not take so much gold. Like, part of tech's whole story in this game has been stealing your gold, right? This goes back to T10s, where you just want to choke somebody out because it's so friggin' expensive. So, that's part of the story of tech. So if they tried to drop non-valor tech on you that cost as much gold as the other non-valor tech costs, you'll never move tactical. You'll never move mastery. They can't just do that. They can't just put non-valor. I think it's important. Everybody's been saying non-valor tech. We need more in this game. It's really add on to that. Non-valor, non-gold tech is what we need in this game. So you can still move tactical. Otherwise, it's going to be pointless. So, yeah. That's what I would say for yourself. But always go Valor, man. Always go Valor right now when you can get it for free. How do you sandbox them? Different accounts or just updating? Okay, you have sandbox right in your base. You have an armed truck is the best place to do sandboxing for yourself, to tell the difference between your squads and your teams. Just come in here and set up the environment to do it. Now, sandboxing in general is always best when you lose. You don't want to win a battle. That's the number one key of sandboxing. The reason why this environment works so well is because it's keeping everything the same. So all you're doing is switching things around a little bit, right? Your lineup, your formations. You can learn so much in here. Yeah, it's not necessarily a 1-for-1, but it's a great testing environment till the game comes up with a different way. And they give it to us. And Global Expedition is not that, by the way. It's fun and whatever. And I was very excited that it was going to be that, because, man, if you give me a sandboxing environment to really just sit here and do like a PvP, like dead on the same thing where everything could be used, oh man, I will just, guys, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, I'm gonna be hours on hours. I'm already sandboxing, but this is what it is. So you keep, basically, the environment stays the same. You're able to just move things around. This environment is much better than Global Expedition. Global Expedition, it has only a 2-stun process. It doesn't vary in the stuns that you get in that environment. It doesn't vary in the crit rate in that environment. I mean, if you're not having the differences of how things are working in a real battle when you get out there, you're not going to know. It's just standardizing the results, which is fine. It's something, right? Like, I don't want to take away from it, because at least it's something. We didn't have anything before, so at least they're giving us something to play around and move people around a little bit and play. The trucks are difficult. We tried to do some sandboxing with trucks. You can learn from trucks. The only problem is you have to be a little bit cautious. Take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes people have the truck protection on or truck attack boost on with their profession, and it really alters the results of how things go. No different when you're out in a PvP and you're seeing the war leader versus engineer. I mean, that also will alter your results, right? But that's not what we're trying to find. We're trying to not alter things. We're trying to get a completely isolated environment that always gives us the same results. So your armed truck will do that for you. And the reason why this works is because it gives you all the things when you battle. All the results, and the battle report is right here for you to look at from your damage taken, damage here, and it will fluctuate. And that's really what you need, because all these things are taking place. The other thing you want to do, though, the key to using this correctly, is to lose a battle, not win a battle. If I win a battle, I don't actually know what my damage would have been in that fight, because it stops when I win. As opposed to when I lose, I see what my full damage was in that battle, right? The other thing that you have to watch for is you want a battle that lasts. This doesn't always tell the story completely, because you could have a battle that goes to the very end where the enemy only had a sliver left. In that battle, you're clearly going to last longer and land more damage because the battle lasted longer, right? As opposed to if you have somebody, if you ever fought a PvP battle and you fought, let's say, a VIP 18, go look at how much damage you're actually doing. Oh, you only took 2 troops? Yeah, because they just friggin' leveled you. You can't tell anything from that battle. 0. You didn't even get to your first skill cycle. They just friggin' leveled you. So you can't tell anything from that battle. So another thing you want to also make sure that you're doing in the sandbox is how well is the enemy doing? You want the enemy to do pretty well, right? You don't need them to go to a sliver. You don't need to like almost win. You can tell because again, you're comparing apples to apples every single time. Same lineup, same placement. All you're doing is altering, right? Now, there's plenty of things that we can, pick apart and try to say, well, there's no front hero. There's no, but sure. Okay. So you can't, not necessarily a front hero, but it's giving you a test. What it's doing is allowing you to test different lineups, different formations, different things to see the power differences in specific lineups and specific things. It's the best thing we can do in the game right now. Until the game gives us more, it's really the best thing you can do. Now, what I like to do is the best thing to do is narrow down your results in a sandbox environment. What the sandbox really lets you do is test a million different fights and a million different lineups and see the best. That doesn't always have to be your end result. You can sandbox and see the best fights, and then you can take those lineups to the different places. Kill event, you can take it to Winter Storm, you can take it to anything like a reinforcing or whatever you want to do, right? Defensive, where somebody's hitting you want to see how it holds up from a defense perspective. So take those to other places. This is just narrowing it down. But to pretend like this is bullshit is listen, again, tell me you don't know how to play the game without telling me. Like this, to say this is bullshit is crazy. Like this is phenomenal. This is the best thing the game has. For me personally, this is one of my favorite things in the game to do. Is sandbox like this, is to see the difference between the heroes and actually see what's going on with the heroes. And listen, you want to really dig deep and get nerdy, which I'll only do for one more second. I'm sorry. I get crazy with this sandboxing. It's kind of what we were built on. But this allows you to watch the fight and watch skills. If you really want to learn how the game and how the meta works, what this allows you to do is watch skills. I'll do one for you to just show you what I mean. Like this is actually going to give you a full battle here of what's happening. No, you know what I mean? So there could be difference in how the damage happens, how the crit happens, how certain things take place. But what it does is show you their skill. Their skill cycles take place. It shows you what happens when their skill cycle takes place. It's no different than really what they're trying to do with that silly game that they have for the skill to show you the skills and stuff. But this is watching them in a real fight. You get to watch who's dying first. How are they being impacted when you move them around in the environment? How does it work when you have, like when you put somebody like Carly behind Morrison? How does it work when I put Lucius in different places? It teaches you how the actual battles happen, how they work, how they're impacted, how they get stronger. All these things are fun to learn some of this stuff for yourself. So if you really want to get nerdy with it, then yeah, watch these battles and go through them and take place. But otherwise, just use it for a damage calculation for yourself in different positions, different hero locations, and then use that battle in other places. That's what I would best say. That is sandboxing. Now, unfortunately, in Global Expedition, it is all we have is just another place to test. But just be aware. The biggest problem that I have with this environment is it doesn't do crit. It doesn't do the fluctuation of crit rate, stuns, the things that are most important in this game when you're actually battling that you need to know. And I'll show you what I mean. So when I come into this battle, you can see in this battle here, these things don't fluctuate. So watch this, 59.9, 38, right? Let's just look at those two numbers, 59.9 and 38. Okay. $59.9 and 38 is what we talked about before in our first run. And now you'll see here in the second run, 59.9, 38. Same thing, right? And just for sandboxing purposes, which I love to do, we'll do a third one just to show you. But every time you're going to end up every position in the same exact numbers, 59.9 and 38, which means you do not have to run a battle lineup more than once to get your average results. This is a controlled environment. So, you can't necessarily, you're going to take more from the arm truck than you're going to take from Global Expedition. But again, I don't throw this out. It's standardized testing against the same enemy, and you're moving things around in a PvE environment, and you'll know. So, it's still fun. This is more fun to me though than you're going to take these lineups and you're going to use your Global Expedition lineup to go fight somebody. I don't encourage you to do that more than you would do it with World Boss. You're not going to do it with World Boss lineups, right? So a little bit different here than World Boss. World Boss is just based off straight attack. There's no real defense. World Boss is just like, how much can you really hit? What's the biggest attack lineup that you could do to hit World Boss? So this is a little bit different because it will take the defensive damage into play here. So damage reduction and stuff will take place. But still, a lot of these lineups are way different in here than you're going to see. So just take for what that's worth. All right, get through some of your questions. I do want to get to, let's see. I'm glad I decided to continue with tanks. Yes, I am happy you did as well, MZ. Just stay away from me with your tanks. Okay, what else do we got? Lost plenty of battles in there. Tanks in first and missile at second. First. Exactly what you should do. Hi, I'm about to enter season 6. After watching your last video about Air and Diva Awakening, I am divided. I should upgrade Carly weapon 20 to 30 or upgrade Murphy 10 to 20. What would you recommend? Well, Air is your number 1, right? So the Air is your number 1, which means Tank is going to be your number 2. And the biggest thing that I will tell you that's going to be impactful for you is you're going to have your T1 and you need a strong T2. Tank teams will tell you that one of the biggest things that you do with this whole Air and 4+1 is you're actually weakening your tank tremendously by pulling Murphy away from it. So I would recommend that you move your T1, which is going to be Carly, and move that forward. And then also you're going to then want to spend your time on Murphy, like, to your T2. But it depends. If you're a low spend free to play player, then worry about your T1. Push all your T1 to 30, and then worry about your T. If you start going and spending where you're like mid spender or high spender, and you can actually afford to get exclusive weapons and purchase them and buy them and move them quicker, then yeah, there's no problem with moving a second team. You're going to have a strong second team. So you move your second team to 20. I'm going to guess you're a low spend free to play. If you've gotten to season 6 and Murphy's only at 10 and Carly's only at 20, then you got to be a free to play low spend player. And if you are, then I would be focusing on your T1s. Push your T1 first, and that is going to be Carly. Murphy is going to be in your T2, and as you move forward, you're going to need that. Murphy's phenomenal with tanks. You can't just move him out and then have a strong second. So you're going to do that anyway. So that's where I would focus, always on T1. And tank squad. I love all these tank squads. I am a big fan of people that held out for tank squads. How far are you gonna get V18? How far am I gonna get V18? I'm not sure. Are you saying how far am I gonna get to VIP 18? Is that what your question is? Not sure. To diagnose that and think that's what your question is. If that is your question, I'm nowhere close to VIP 18. I'm VIP 17. I've gotten 2 million, almost 2 million closer, but I'm still like 23 million. Let's put it this way. I've played the game for 895 days, and I'm not even 50% of the way to 18. So I don't know if that helps, but I don't plan on going any faster if that's what the question is. But yeah, it's all good. I'm not looking to continue to do that. But eventually, maybe someday, who knows? Who knows? Mario, does this sandbox translate well to PvP? Yes, 100%. Absolutely. I mean, you do the math. You do the math and the lineups and the shakeups as far as we say to do them and test them out. Like I said, take your results of what you do and your damage that you're getting from armed, and then move it to different areas like Winter Storm and different places. You're gonna like the results. Arrow, look at this guy. WWC community. Well, a community is nothing without their compliance officer. What up, Arrow? Always good seeing that guy. Good dude. YSR, hey QB, we just had final defense in Defense and Soil War for Season 2. Was in second place till the server alliance decided to play favorite with their other server friends and set up to... Okay. Listen, same thing I always tell you, right? It always drives me nuts, these deals. It always drives me nuts, YSR, when the developers and people develop a season in the way the season is intended to be played, and people try to circumvent the rules and how to play the game, and then say a season sucks. It's silly. If you really don't like the season, then okay, judge it based on the season, but there's no need to sit there and say that that's going to happen. Hi, Arrow. WWC is thriving and growing. It's compliance officer. He knows what's going on. He knows all about it. What up, I am? Welcome in. Good afternoon. Daffy, nice to catch this live. Nice to see you too as well. Daffy, hi, this live. Hi, Lord. Hi, Lord. I'm a Lord now. Mario, cool. I sandboxed Murphy in air last season 2, and I used it stuck it with Murphy. Got to 403, so I guess a lot stronger than just full air. Yes. Oh yeah. Well, season 2, yeah. I mean, it is. It's the same melody. Like it works. 4 + 1. You have everything going. The Murphy plus air is 100% real. But it starts to get ironed out. It'll get ironed out by season 6. It's kind of like Sarah, right? So Sarah in season 4, phenomenal. You go into season 5, she's great until Morrison comes out, and then not so much. So there's pockets of time to use these lineups and these heroes. You just kind of have to know when to dial them in. Same with Missile with Marshall, right? Pulling Fiona out before, when you're in season 4 and using that, amazing for a full season plus. But once Fiona comes out and you're able to raise that, not so much anymore. And Missile, it works because typically if you're a Missile team, you have Tank as your third. So pulling Marshall out and using him in your Missile squad isn't that bad a deal because you probably haven't developed your Tank as your third squad. No big deal. But in general, pulling Marshall out of Tank team, yeah, not recommended if you actually want to use it. I have all red gears for season reward. Should I focus on Decoration 4 or base skins? Deco. Also for glittering, should I store a coin to prepare for T11? I mean, I don't know. If you're storing coins, you're free to play. I still say red gear. I've got the love for T11. Like pushing T11 to unlock them is good. You get a great bump for that. It's hard to get those type of bumps. I would caution though to overvalue the T11s, especially from a free to play perspective. We talked about how important gear is when we started this show. So it's not just cut and dry. I think you have to look at how your gear is currently, how you're obtaining gear. If you're not getting enough red gear and you don't have it in places, you're not going to be able to afford to focus on T11s with your glittering coins because you need red. You need your red gear. So unfortunately, They start to make it more available in the honor shop. They have it in season rewards, but some people are on weaker alliances and they don't always get to take advantage of the season rewards as much. So it not only matters where you are for free to play low spend, it also matters what alliances you are in. How have you been able to obtain red gear? It takes a long time to develop your gear and get that in. So if you are completely weak with red gear and you only have a couple pieces, I would not put you as a candidate that you can afford to play around with your glitter coins. I would keep pushing your red gear. However, if you happen to be blessed and you're a free-to-play player, you've gotten it all from the season stores and stuff like that, yeah, I would say one time you're doing glitter, if you veer from it and get some T11 stuff, no big deal. I think you can afford to do it. If you have, I don't know, like 8, 9, 10 red pieces on there and you want to unlock your T11s, it's a pretty damn big bump. It's a bigger bump than the red gear is going to get you. It's incredible. The T11 bump is incredibly strong for unlocking them. And listen, it continues through from the first star. I wouldn't necessarily push them with glitter coins constantly, because you gotta focus on your gear. But to unlock them, yeah. If you're in good gear shape, it is worth it to unlock those T11s. I am using Lucius with tank and about to go into season 6. Is that not effective anymore? You're using Lucius with tank. Yeah, Lucius with tank is effective. But it depends on who you're fighting, how strong your team is, and what you've developed. Like, who are you fighting for Lucius? And my guess is, what did you put? You put Murphy with air, right? And this is where you're going to start to lose, especially in season 6. You're going to start to lose that. I don't personally like it. Me and Compliance Officer Arrow have talked about this, especially with tank teams, because if you're a tank team, your second team needs to be air. And you cannot, I will repeat that, you cannot have a viable air without Lucius. So as you develop a second team, with your second team, if your tank should be air, you can't do that anymore. And the tank team is very strong, especially with the awakening skill for Kim to stand on its own. So I would not be in favor of using Lucius with tank in that scenario. Charlie, has anyone seen putting Marshall in front row? I've seen it in 3v3. Doesn't make sense to me. Marshall in front row was to more attack the main damage dealer. I am not a proponent for it. I have to tell you that it is 100% not a viable thing, especially with Kim's awakening shard, because you need that multiplied. We've shown that even in the PvE environment. When you see what happens to, let me go to like Kim. Let me just show you the difference of in this environment. And you see here, like, the Kim is 72.1. I will do one up and $80.4. And this is just too big for Marshall. If you lose Marshall, look at what happens. 38.5. So, like, Marshall is incredibly, like, important to have that buff. You can't afford to put him in a front row and then just lose the buff, right? Because he'll die in a real PvP battle. He'll just completely get smoked. So if you lose him, you're going to lose any kind of buff you're getting for Kim. And that's the last thing you can have happen, especially with Awakening. So I don't recommend any kind of front row. I would think front row is somebody who doesn't understand, and they're using the world boss lineup to use PvP. And it doesn't work. It's not going to work. So I used him for Williams, so it sounds like I completely didn't wrong. And yes, air is second. Thanks, sweet. You're welcome. You're welcome. Spidey, I'm free to play tank team in postseason 2. I'm thinking about adding Adam in my team for fighting against air team. Is it a good idea? Yes, 100% it's good. Adam Scarlet is real. We actually have that lineup. There's a couple things I needed to actually address. So first of all, YSR, you're here. I ran your lineup. Your lineup did not win. There was 3 people actually. Eric gave a lineup. OG Eric. I think it was, who is it? Ethereal Dreams or Eternal Dreams or something. I can't read my own writing. And YSR. I ran all your lineups after the live the other day just to let you know you did not beat anything. I did it afterwards, so I did want to follow up and tell you that. There's also 2 lineups that I will be trying. I wrote down, I promised folks, that I'll be doing, and that's like Adam, obviously in the 4+1. Wanted to touch on that. Community's been asking me to sandbox that and give results. I will have that coming up. And then also a combination of Scarlet with Kim, Murphy, Adam, and Marshall. So those are 100% coming up. I can tell you they are viable. There's tons of battle reports going on where Adam is incredibly viable with Adam and Scarlet lineups. So yeah, I would definitely use those. And like I said, we'll be sandboxing those to show you the difference between regular teams and those lineups in both a PvP and our sandbox environment. So coming soon to a YouTube near you. Free to play lot good. I see the buff Williams provides his increase since the Cam Awakening. Who is he? See the increase since the Cam. You notice the buff for Williams is overwhelmed. Williams, where are you seeing his buff since Awakening? Maybe because of the energy damage, but that's taken by enemies. You're getting overwhelmed. Enemies back row hero. I don't know why you would be seeing more. I'm trying to see where, if there's something underlying that I'm missing, where there was like an attack angle that he's doing. Enemies front row hero. I don't see anything that would make the team attack more, except maybe win the battle that makes it last longer and they're getting more points. But I don't see. Maybe it's maybe you're thinking it's because of the energy damage taken. But I don't know. Well, I suppose if your energy damage taken and you're giving out more and you're upping the weapon to give out more damage, then it's going to make it so it amplifies it more. But I mean, that would be no different than testing the actual thing. Yeah, it's because, but again, he's making the other team weaker, right? So if you're making the other team weaker and then you lift the skill to make it more powerful, and then that skill hits, the other team is weaker, it's going to provide more damage. But I don't know what you're comparing that to, I guess, is what I'm confused on. You're you know what I mean? Like when if I use the Awakening, it would have been on day 1. I would have seen that on a battle report. It's not like all of a sudden I'm going to put William. Like, wouldn't you always have Williams in your lineup when you had Kim in the lineup? I would think they would be there, right? So I'm not sure, Chick Charlie. 100%. I mean, he's. I was thinking that you're saying he's making somebody like was making somebody stronger, but it's just you're seeing just the damage overall, the Awakening skill, and yeah, the Awakening skill would be amplified by the overwhelm, bringing down the other team's defense. So that may be what you're seeing. They're a weakened state, they're going to take more damage, especially when you lift up something like an Awakening skill that provides more power. I'll also say, from a tank team, I'm telling you right now, when Kim can get the 4 stars, I cannot wait to test this, because I'm telling you, I really think anybody, by the way, anybody in these Awakening, that 40% extra damage, I think is going to be hell. I think that's going to ramp this thing right up. So I'm happy that I already have my sandboxing results from earlier. Like we have our regular one, we have our pre, we have our post, and then we'll be doing every single star as we move forward to track it out. So you guys can see every single hero and every single star, so you can see the difference. But I'm telling you, think about that from you just touched on it from a Williams perspective, right? Reducing the damage. Think about when Kim's weapon can get 40% extra damage, and then on top of that, Marshall buffs it. So the other team's getting weaker, you're buffing it, and she's giving out 40% extra damage. Yeah, it's gonna be huge. And you take this and multiply. That's just not Kim. You take this and multiply it across. It's gonna be the same. Like Diva, I think Diva's skill and Tesla. We'll get into Tesla when it unlocks. I think in 2 weeks. No, next week. I think next week it comes out. So we'll do. Oh my! Can you imagine what we're gonna do with Tom and Missile Team? So you can just imagine if you guys have seen the preview of Tank and Air. Can you imagine what the hell you're about to see me do with Tesla? Oh my god! You guys are gonna throw up. You're gonna be sick on Sandboxing. You're gonna be so disgusted with me. You're like, yeah, QB, you freaking nerd. All right, so we got to get to account reviews. We've been chatting and helping the community so damn much. We did not even get to account reviews yet, so I am going to 100% do that. Well, you know what? Hold on. What do you guys? You guys are out there. You guys are live. Why don't you give me some? You guys have me talking all the time. Why don't you give me some friggin' feedback? What do you guys want right now? Do you want me to switch over quick to account reviews, or you want to do some global expedition? You want to try out some of these lineups and see if we could break the computer? Figure out. I never use the polls. I should. Oh! Is that my man? Is that my Australia man? Is that my Australia man? I'll tell you, I was just talking to him. I think that's who that RJ is from Australia as well. I was just talking to RJ, and just vote on the poll, folks. You don't even have to type anything. Just click a damn poll button. Help your old QB out. Yeah. So I was talking with RJ. Great dude. I mean, fellow Bears fan, by the way. So he gets a one up on all of you. But I was talking to him. He's from Australia. Wu is from Australia. Palantir's from Australia. I have so many people from Australia. I'm like, do they advertise for the WWC in Australia? I swear to God, you'd think I took out an ad for Australian people. I love it. I love it. It's like WWC Down Under. It's fantastic. It's I'm gonna start coming out with some Australia questions. I'm sure I have quite a bit. I know Bun Bun was more interested in the creatures of Australia that she was being sent by Wu, but I have some Australia questions. I can assure you that. From a guy who can talk for hours on end, you know I have Australian questions. All right, so I'm gonna give it a couple minutes. Vote in the poll, folks. Give me some votes. Give me some votes. Give me some. I wish it would tell me where my poll stands. It doesn't tell me like how many people voted in my poll, so I know. But I'm going to give it another minute for that to take place. 22 days left. One interesting thing I will tell you while we're waiting for that poll to go. Our Protectors field is already at level 30, guys. Isn't that wild? Like, some people are coming up on 31 just about for Protectors field. And I still have 22 days left. 22 days left. So I got to tell you, I mean, I really am going to start not... One of the big, strong takes that I'm going to have is, you don't need to buy the season pass. I mean, this is crazy. 22 days left and at level 30? I mean, I'm going to have the Protectors, and you can't do anything else with these mushrooms. What else am I going to do with them? So, like, this thing is, I mean, telling you, we're going to have this thing updated in no time. And then also one thing, the totem, I feel like this is they didn't do enough for the totem, because I'm going to be able to raise this one. I still have 2 more that I'm going to do, and we have all that, but geez, it's crazy, absolutely wild. What up, Michael? Hey man, just want to say love your channel and nerding out with data. Not sure if you said it and I missed it, but what would you say? What would you say the meta season 6? But what would you say the meta season 6? I'm confused, Michael. Confused on your question, brother. I appreciate you. Appreciate you loving the channel. Confused on the question. I don't know. You're the meta in regard to what of season 6? I guess is what are you trying to get at? What specific meta are we referring to? Oh, well, the meta is for season 6. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I have no clue what the meta is. No clue. Are you a Peyton Manning fan? No. Why would I be a Peyton Manning fan? Why would I be a Peyton Manning fan? I'm a Bears fan. Why am I a Bears? Yeah, I went over your reviews earlier. That you sent. Yeah, I wasn't a big Peyton Manning fan. I heard some story about how he dropped his nuts on some doctor or something like that when he was in college. It's like, like she was examining him or whatever, and then he dropped his nuts like to, just like one of those guys that could feel like he could get away with anything because he was brought up in college, high school to just get away with shit and do whatever. Great quarterback and all. That story never left like me though. Like how what a jerk the dude is to just kind of you feel like you should get away with anything. You have some female doctor who's treating some like college team, and then he's dropping his nuts on somebody's head. Just seemed like a shitty way to do it. So I don't know. I don't know. What's the season 6 meta? Again, I don't know what you mean. You got to be more specific. The meta for what? Keep waiting for you to tell me. Just in general? Are you just asking me like strategies for the season? Or are you talking about the awakening shards? Are you asking like, you know what I mean? Like overall strategy, are you asking about the meta, like the take over the properties, the for the map? I'm not sure, bro. You're a little yeah, it's a big season with a lot going on, with a lot of different strategies for a lot of different things. It's a big season. You got to break it apart. I will say, tactic cards. 100%. That is. Look at my core cards. By the way, every single day I get them. Look at my core, where my core cards are now. You can see. I think I have 20 little stars on these. The little points to the star. I think I have 20 now. If I add them all up. Monster card's almost done, by the way. I'll probably be able to finish this monster card by the end of the season. Be my guess. John Kenny. Oh, okay. I didn't know he was a Bears fan. Oh, he just looked at the name 218, and Peyton Manning was the first name I thought of. Well, maybe Caleb Williams will be the next name you think of. So, that. That's this question. What is the season 6 meta in regards to teams, comp, and card builds. Are there certain cards that have more use than others? Oh, like the for the battle cards? That's from the things. Yeah, so builds in general, if you're just talking about formations and team builds, I think season 5 starts rearing its ugly head. I think really they're getting away from a lot of the mixed squads from what you're doing with the awakening shards and everything. You're certainly not seeing as many 4+1s with the awakening coming out. It's just not everything that screams in all the battle reports that we're getting for PvP 3v3. It's all shying away from that, going away. Not to mention, I was never a big fan of it with missile anyway, because the missile skills are based off of one another. I think now they based the awakening shard for Diva off of the skills for one another. Tank very similar in that. I will say from a battle card perspective. And these battle cards, the lineups, they really they've made it almost spoon fed you how to play this game at this point with a lot of the battle cards with how the recommended cards are. They've kind of shown you, okay, this is the lineup. I'm gonna put you in this direction. Here's the lineup that you should be using. And this is what we've done with the battle cards and how we want you to use them. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't use them and raise them in different ways. Obviously, there's a million different ways to play this game. So, they're all. You're not right now. Still, for me, it's missile. Like even people that are lifting the awakening shards. I mean, you saw what I've been able to do with missile against like a VIP 18 who's pushing up, and still you can't. So if I was building right now, if looking at the team, I haven't been able to sandbox missile with Tesla's skill yet. But if I was taking a team, if I was starting from scratch right now and building a team and having it for season 6, I would have my missile team. My missile team is still incredibly viable, and I don't even have awakening shard in it. So I mean, I don't even have the awakening skill, and my team is already bumping up against. And in 3v3 the other day, there was an air lineup who was using 4+1 at one point, and I showed on live. I was able to beat that team that was like 7 million stronger than me, something like that, 8 million stronger than me. And then even after the awakening, I can sometimes beat it with my tank against air, even with a full air squad now. And it was, something like that. Like it got a little bit rougher because I think it got it 10 million stronger with full air and awakening shard. But listen, missile over air is still it's wild. It's wild, the advantage. It almost feels like, to be honest with you, missile over air feels a lot like it used to feel for air over tank. So, and tank does an amazing job at countering missile, although somebody would have to send me a battle report where 10 million, like a missile squad that has a 10 million advantage over air is losing. I have not seen that. But here's the problem here's the problem that I have with your question. Every team is viable in the season. Whether you're looking at strong season or what, they're basically 5. It depends by the time you get to season 6, where are your exclusive weapons, how are you using them, and how are you using your battle cards. Let me show you why I say that. Like last night, here was a battle that I had that I saved. And if I look at how somebody else is defending against me right here. So let's look at this person right here. Right? This was looking at Winterstorm. This person, and they have battle cards, right? Okay. I want you to look at their battle cards. Look at the battle cards in this battle. Mike. Okay? And you see what they're using for battle cards and how they're stacking their lineups, and look at the percentages they're getting. Okay, now I want you to look in that same battle. I want you to look at mine. These are my percentages, right? And this is light. Do I have a battle? This from? Oh, that was 2 weeks ago. Let me get a battle to show you from like today. Do I have anything reinforcing? I want to show you something. Let me just look at a random attack one that I victory and defense. Let me just look at this one. Random defensive one. I think I have my fighting cards on. Oh no, I have my defensive cards on for this. So this is just a random attack that I'm getting these percentages out of when I'm defending. This isn't even my building. Now, did I think I switched. Do I have my, I thought I put my fighting cards on, but. Yeah, here you go. Here's my, so when I put my fight, this is the same thing. My fighting cards, the only difference is I get, the reason why I call them fighting cards versus defensive cards, because you could see for the most part, my defensive didn't move, but I also get attack out of this. So now some of these cards can be used to up my attack. So I get both defensive and I get offensive out of using these battle cards. So that's why I call them my attack set cards. And then the defensive cards are, I get the good defense, as you can tell. I don't get any attack out of them, but they help more when I'm in a building. So I really want it when I'm in a building. But you can already see, if I can show you when I was in a building, would have been earlier. Got my cards on. Yeah. So here you go. So this is what it looks like when I'm actually defending. So it's ginormous. I'm getting 39%, 39%, 39%. Right? So, and here's the other person right here. So you're looking at what team is actually the strongest. I'm looking at, I can make any team strong. I can make any team good and I can make any team strong in this season to go. But I can tell you that my missile is holding up out of all my teams that I have right now that are strong. My missile is holding up the best. And anybody to catch up, 80 missile is probably the best team end game, especially 4+1. Right, I agree. I think I know what he. That's what I'm leaning. Thanks, the strongest squad all around. I agree with that as well, Michael. My air is 100% mastery, missile 90%, more than yeah. So I'm Michael. Just so you know, for me, I'm 100%, 100%, and 75% for my masteries. I'm 100 missile, 100 air, and 75 mastery is where I'm at. So my teams are pretty equal. Pretty equal. But if you're talking based on what you're telling me for information from your area, your mastery, whatever, you're a high spender. High spender, your missile. Your missile is going to hold out well. Like I just showed you. I took on somebody that's way stronger. And when I tell you Jimmy's way stronger than me, way stronger. And so this is my defense. Here is our Discord. Discord.gg/join WWC, all lowercase. If you want any Season 6 questions, just put them in the Season 6 channel. I did share my sheet for Diva, by the way, my Awakening spreadsheet that I did. So you can see it in there, which was the pre-results, the post-results, and then the post-patch results of showing Diva's Awakening stars at Awakening skill at 2 stars. I'll be doing similar with Tesla. We'll have all, I'm obviously going to take Tesla to at least 4 stars. So I'll have that in there for you for Season 6. I also shared the Kim one earlier when I was testing her. So I'll put everything in there for Season 6. You guys can look at it, talk about it, whatever. You can use it. Also in here, for those, I just want to talk a little bit about our voting game. So if you guys have any game improvement ideas, keep them pouring in. I continue to add them in here in our game improvement ideas. We started this website, which allows you to vote on which idea you think is the best that you want for the game, so we can itemize it. The votes have just gotten ridiculous. They keep pouring in. I think there's over 700 votes now. something like 700, 800 votes already in here. We just did it this past week. I think it's been live for a few days. It's just a website that goes on and it shows the ones that we've gotten so far. And it also lets you vote on the ideas that you want. So raise them up to put in there. The idea is to, once we get enough votes, we'll change around kind of the ones that are on here and take some of them out that you don't care about or that you don't like, and we'll shelve them. We'll probably shelve them at the top. I'll add another button up here that shows ideas that are shelved or something I'll have. So you can add, you'll be able to see that if you want to. And then the rest of them we will have, and we'll allow people to vote on the top 17. And we'll probably just leave, like, a lot of these aren't getting any votes, right? Or they have negative votes down here, or they're only one vote that's positive, or, 2 votes. As you can tell, the ideas that are doing really well are starting to stick out already, because they have like 40, 31, and even the ones down here that want to go into the top 17 now have 25, 19. They're clearly sticking out. So as we get, like 1,000 more votes, 2,000 more votes, imagine what all of this is going to look like. It's going to be clear as day what the top ones will be. So I'll rearrange the ones from the bottom and put them up top more and organize that. So I'm just waiting for more votes as we continue to go. But go ahead and vote in there. That'll continue to be live. That's our new thing, answering the bell to organize for the players what they really want to see in this game changed as a priority. So get a voice, folks. All right, let's talk about your account review. So if you guys want an account review, you can go right into the Discord and do that. By the way, you just have our general WWC Hangout chat is fantastic. Our admin of Zero and Bun Bun have been just phenomenal in answering questions, help people out, guided through, protecting your environment. They are awesome. So please, by all means, hang out there. It's incredibly active all day long. So I don't know what you're used to seeing for Discords. I don't really know what to go against, but I can tell you that this thing is active all day. People are commenting, and a lot of the channels are active as well. That people that are in seasons, it's constant. So your question usually doesn't last very long before somebody's picking it up and answering. It's absolutely amazing, the community and how it's continuing to grow. It amazes me. One more thing before I get into this, I did want to give a shout out to somebody. I always like to do this. He threw me a crown, and this guy, I mean, talk about like an amazing guy. He's a VIP 18. His name is Zen. He's on server 746. We actually reviewed his VIP 18 base not that long ago. I don't know if I have it here or not. I don't even know if he's on the server. He might have moved. So I don't know. I can necessarily. He might be on another server right now to show you which one he is. But his name is Zen. He was on. I don't have it. Too bad. I'll bring it up this week. It's difficult to do a kill event because these guys are fighting other servers and they're everywhere else. So we'll probably take a look at it on Sunday night. But yeah, in general, this is the guy I'm talking about. Zen 746 VIP 18 sent me crown and just love the WWC. Big fan of it, and appreciate all his kind words and everything that he said. Hopefully we'll continue to get in contact with him. Ask him about his base story behind his base. Maybe we'll get to the story behind his base too, so we can share that. But thank you so much, and appreciate you and everything that you've said. So thank you, sir. Okay, so anyway, I want to get that out. Thank you to Zen. And now let's go into our account review. So if you guys go into the Discord, over on the over on the left here, you'll see the channel. There's YouTube content, and you can do account review requests. So go ahead, open up a thread, and give your account review requests here. All right, let's see who we have coming up. So, all right, Vigo. We finished season 3 last week, and now I'm a bit more confused about what I should focus on next. Heavily invested in air since the start of the game, but now I'm struggling because most of the time I'm fighting against missiles in the air. Boy, does this not go into our whole conversation today? Vigo, you should just listen to the show today. It'd be right up your alley. Okay. Do you think I should start investing in missiles and try to make them viable by season 5? Usually spend around 200 a week. No. Already no. I can answer. This is very simple. You could have led with telling me how much you spend. I don't. So I know it seems like a lie. I know everybody would be like, holy crap, dude, that's a lot of money. He's spending $800 a month. I know. I understand. But I'm telling you, this late in the game, if you're all of a sudden going to switch right now, it's going to be a lot of money. A lot of money. Like, it's very difficult to end up with your team. The choice is, I understand what you're saying, that you have a lot of missiles that are beating you. But I'm also telling you that if you develop your T1, if you finish what you're doing now and make it your T1, spending $800 a week will allow you to bring your missile up so you can responsibly change it by, let's say, like, be equal around season 6 and then make the turn. Make the turn. So I'm going to give you more advice about how you should responsibly switch your teams and just doing what you're doing, rather than stopping where your air is right now and flipping over. So that's what I'm going to take in and do as we move forward. So invest my resources. Should I continue improving my Overlord, or should I focus more on drone and EW for other teams? And a side note, in general, I mainly buy the $5 packs and weekly packs. Other than that, I usually only buy extra packs to reach market thresholds. Listen, bro, you just told me you spend $200 per week. If you spend $200 per week, you're doing more than just $5 packs. Like, I mean, $200 per week tells me you get the weekly, which is $25. Then even if you're doing the other weeklies, that's going to be another $15. That's $40. Then what? Let's say you're doing, what are you doing? The $5 exclusive every day? Maybe that's what you're doing. That's 75. That's like 75 right there. I can't think of what else you're doing with the $5 packs. What else? Where you might be spreading that $200 too thin. So let me take a look at what your team looks like, and then we can go from there. How your build's coming along. So you're season 3. Okay. Hero looks good. As long as you have as long as that 94% outstanding is the tanks, the bottom 4, you can leave your tanks outstanding in Hero, and you don't even have to address it anytime soon. You'll have plenty of time to deal with your non-Valor tech. You don't need to do that now. So, okay, so I'm looking at your defense, fortification in here. All right, so as long as your special training, as long as this is all, the power is gone, I want to make sure you got all the power out of this. Let me blow this up. So make sure you're getting all the power out of your special handling. Oh, I must be on the wrong. I'm sorry, I must be on the wrong side again. Right? You're probably on the right. I don't have your name up there, but my guess is you sent me this and didn't put on the right. But I'm going to guess based on your teams, it's this, because you said you barely use your tank. All right, so let me look at this again. Heroes done, units done. Okay, special handling, I'm sure you got the power out of that. These are, okay. So I wouldn't recommend the build this way. I do love a good defense fortification. And I love siege. Incredible power in here. I would prioritize your mastery though over maxing these two first. So I would think you can bring these along and get the half the power out of these, and that's fine. But I would 100% be pushing your T1 mastery up, not necessarily just warning your second team. Regardless if you get the power out of these two, your second team is not going to be viable until you get this up anyway. You can have your gear, you can have different things, but until your team 2, you can't take on another team that's at 100% mastery air with your mastery at 2%. You're going to get throttled. So because of that, worry about your T1 and get this to 100% while bringing these along at the same time. You are where you are right now. Stop giving the air. Max this out 100%. Use what I want from you before you take next steps. Everything else looks great. You don't even have to do anything more for defense and tech for or siege for valor. You've done enough here. You've probably gotten the power out based on these percentages. If you have, great. Dump all your valor into mastery now. And then dump all your valor into your second team. And don't worry about tanks. I don't even want to see you with 1% on tanks. Just that. So 100% do that. So that's your tech coming along. Deco's okay. 6.1. Yep, that's pretty good. That's spender. Spent wisely there. Yeah, your components look good. Don't much care about that. Oh, see, Vigo's on the left. I'm talking with Teleport here. Your report is incredibly confusing. Oh, is that because I'm confused? Is that because it's Garage 1? That's Garage 1. I'm trying to do a foreign language. I'm pretty good on these. I think that's Garage, right? Is the Garage tank? I was thinking this is going to be Tank Mastery because I had a picture of a tank. But is this Garage 1? Somebody in tank, tell me, is that what that is? Does anybody know? Anybody know what the hell Tacom 1 is? Is that? I imagine it's got to be Garage 1. There's really just Garage 1. Do they have pictures? I guess I never even do they have pictures of tanks on our garages? Oh, they do. I guess I never even noticed that. Why wouldn't they just have a picture of a effing garage? Why make it seem like it's a tank team? You know what I mean? They couldn't upgrade that graphic? Okay. Anyway, I digress. You're fine then. Keep doing your air, and yeah, back to what I was saying. You're doing your tech looks absolutely perfect. I don't have anything to say about your tech. You're doing everything 100% right. My advice would have been my free advice for him to copy what you were doing actually on your team. I have no doubt that you're great. Your deco's a little behind. His deco looks better than you. Let's see. Your overlord. I really don't care about your overlord, just to be honest with you. Let's look at everything else first. Yep. 200. If you're spending 800 a week, you can focus on getting a little bit of the drone parts to get this to 200. You get the 5% damage reduction. Really good. Doesn't veer you off your plan too much. Just you're already getting the weekly. You're probably getting the weekly ones. You said you were doing the $5. So if you're getting the weekly, you're getting 200 drone parts. 400 drone parts per month. That's great. And then on top of that, I would be buying the $5 and $10 pack for drone day to make sure you're getting as many. You also would probably, in Bounty Hunter, you want to spend a little bit of your Bounty Hunter time getting some drone parts and getting this to at least 200. As a high spender, you want that 5% damage reduction. Then you can slow roll it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You can just slowly chip away at it. But for your purposes, that 5% damage reduction is 100% worth it. You use your chips? Okay. Your chips got a ways to go. You need to get these before you switch. And this is the big part that I'm going to want to look at your missile. I don't know if you included any of your missile stuff. Are there more pictures? Okay, well, let me see real quick. Yeah, this is what I thought. Where are your chips? Okay, so Vigo, one of the. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, yeah. No, no, nope, nope. No switching for you. No, no switching for you, brother. Absolutely not. No, this is absolutely ridiculous. You are completely committed to air. Continue to go forward. This is what I was worried about when I was thinking when I was originally looking at your account. The switch right now is no. Your first team is gonna completely suffer. You've made your bed, live in it, and it's not a bad bed. Your team is strong. Keep pushing. This is what you're gonna do for your chips. I just want you to go to 8 stars. That's it. Somewhere. Oh, right here. I want you to take your air chips to 8 stars. That's all you need to do. Then stop at 8. Go to your second team. Push those to 8. That's all. That's how we're going to develop your second team and your missile. Don't worry about it, but you do need to do that. You'll also. I need to look at your gear. Gear pretty good. A lot of red. I like it. Okay, yeah, you don't have anywhere near a viable second team for gear. However, if you continue down the path you're going for 2 months, you'll be able to fill in probably a majority of this for a second team. This is tank though. Wait. That's tank. Where's your missile? Why do I care about your tank team? Is that the best? Oh, this is where you like split it out. I guess you didn't give me a full picture. Oh. I have your tank. And then this is the missile team you want to switch to. So this is shitty gear. So I imagine you have tank. So yeah, you're going to switch. I would switch in doing what you want to do. I like your plan. So here's your game plan. Your game plan is to be missile T1 by season 6. That would be your game plan if that's what you want to do. And it's a strong game plan. It's good. And you'll build the best way you can. So that would mean that I don't want you investing anything in your tank team. I only want all your investment going into your air. And then everything over is going to go to your missile as your second team. You need to get your chips to 8 stars. In over 2 seasons, you should be able to do that. You'll be close. You'll probably maybe be like 6 stars in your T1, but that won't stop you from switching. What will stop you from switching is exclusive weapons and gear. So we need to get your gear up. So that means, what we usually say, you're doing 200 right now a month. I really want you focused, or 800 a month, sorry. I really want you focused on gear. So bullseye for you is going to stick out like a sore thumb. You don't have to invest all. It's cost you like $500 to get a red mythic, so you got to save. I would say 250 of your monthly budget I would put into bullseye. So every 2 months, you're getting 1 set of red gears. Then you'll be able to get your glittering. Right now, you can take another 300 and put it towards glittering to get the red set prints, to get those for yourself. And then you don't have to worry too much. Bounty Hunter, you don't have to put too much money in. The mobilization, that's where you're going to see. This is where you get stuck. Even, I'm telling you, $800 budget seems like a lot when you're a big spender, but it goes quick. Mobilization, that gold material for a high spender is really important to push your chips. That's 10 chips. So if you fit that in, what is that? 250? Something like that, I think. That 250? Gear 250? Bounty you can skip. I mean, you not skip necessarily, but you can work off of the free stuff and still make some good headway in bounty. So if there's anything that I would do, it would be that one. And then you may have to do glittering, and you'll do a combination of glittering. So I would buy, instead of buying full set of red prints from glittering, because you're getting your what I would do is maybe use the combination of buying enough prints to maybe like 3 prints, so if you buy at least 3 prints, 3 red prints at Glittering, you'll get the prints for free from the Honor Store. That'll come up. And then the combination of the two, you'll be able, every 2 months, you'll be able to get another set of red prints. So you'll have your season red prints, you'll have your bullseye red prints, and you'll have your glittering red prints. So that would get you to season 6 with probably a complete team. Pretty damn close. I mean, the seasons are 3 months, so you'd be able to probably get like 9 more pieces of red prints in that time by the time you get to season 6. So I would do that and red print out your team. In the meantime, all your honor points go to the blueprints. You'll be able to acquire a bunch of prints from spending, especially black market. You can get some prints for yourself. You want to spend there. And then yeah, and bullseye's giving you 35, so you're getting about 70. If you're doing bullseye every 2 months, that's going to give you 35. So in 4 months, it's 70 more. Then plus the honor store over those 4 months, you got to get your 50 out of there. That's 200. So that's putting you at like another 4. Let's say by the time you get to season 6, you should have at least 400 to 500 additional blueprints that you've already gotten, and your red prints completed. So you're going to be in pretty good shape developing your second set of gear. And if you're pushing your chips to 8 stars, then you'll be good. Your mastery will be set. You'll be able to have 2 full masteries, do 2 full masteries, and then you can switch to air by season 6. That would be the best way to do it for yourself, because you're going to give you a strong air team all the way through, and then be ready to switch over season 6 to missile. Last thing I know, your exclusive weapons. Where were your exclusive weapons? Don't worry about putting exclusives on tank. You're not even going to use your tank team. Oh, you're in good shape. Oh, what do you got going on here? 4+1, 28. So you got oh, you're in great shape. You are in great shape. Your air squad is good. You can use that Murphy for a long time. Where missile heroes, you only have Tesla. Okay, so you're gonna get, you got to get, you need all your missile heroes going here. Make sure you have them, and yeah, those, you're gonna be at 30 when you get your T1. You're almost done with 30. Start pumping them only into air. I notice you're giving your tank heroes more exclusives, but you're gonna have to switch that. I only want them going into missile. You're way behind. You got to put, and if you said you're buying, I think you said you're spending on the $5 pack. So if you're getting missile, you get the exclusives. Pump them into here. Okay. There you go. There you go. What time is this? 2 hours, 11 minutes. Nebraska, I'm considering whether to push missile or a tank team. The counter is wrong, but maybe just live with it. All tank. When you say the counter is wrong, so what do you, I don't know what you mean. Because missile, you do air? I mean, oh, because you can't do, I see what you're saying. You can't really combo the two. The counter is running. All tanks are 1 through 4 gear and full skills. All tanks. Very low spender, so maybe should just stick it out. In missile thoughts, P.S. I inherited this from a friend 100 days ago. Pushing missile, but your counter talk has me thinking. All right, well, if you're doing missile first, you have to do air as your second. Okay, so you're over here. 196. All right, so you're incredibly close to this. You're coming up on season 6. Definitely. You're free to play. I mean, you're so damn close, bro. To 5% damage reduction. It's so good. All right, no chips on your missile. Your missile looks for T1. Got work to do there. For missile. Oh, you have T11s. Okay. All right, you're off to a good start, bro. Yep. Okay. Ugh, yeah, I see your dilemma. Why not be tank? Why not? I don't understand why you wouldn't be tank missile though. I mean, you've already pushed your missile pretty hard. You put yourself in a bad position. It sounds like your team already had tank pushed, and then you decided to switch to missile. I don't think that was the right play. I think you should have pushed tank, and then went missile as your second. But because you were already there, now you're kind of taking a step back in order to do. And this is what I talk about: how long it takes. I don't think people understand how long the full switch takes. But this is what I mean by you end up with 2 mediocre teams instead of 1 really good team, because now everything is split. Now instead of going towards 8 chips on one team, you're trying to split 6 teams, and it's very difficult to do as a free to play low spend or even a mid spend to make this switch. Your gear looks effing awesome. That's great news. That puts you in a rare company. Oh man, your chips are your exclusives look awesome. Oh wow. Yeah, you effed yourself, bro. Oh, this irritates me, bro. You could have had such a good setup. If this was on tank, you would have been set. You would have been set. Damn, man. Fuck. I listen. There's nothing you can do. You're free to play low spend. You've made your bed. You got to live in it, bro. You got to just keep pushing your missile, and then your tank is going to be your number 2 team. You can't afford to switch to air. You're too deep. You're too deep in all of this. You're too deep, man. You got 20. You got you're developed. Your tank chip, your tank exclusives are already there. Your tank chips, you invested all that money in, or time. Time is money in this game, and in collection. There's no way you can switch to air. You're gonna make your teams worse and way more mediocre if you switch at this point to anything to do with air. So missile, you've committed. Those exclusives take forever to get them to 30. You're committed, bro. I would, keep pushing this to all 30. It's your one team. Oh man, your gear looks awesome. That's completely awesome. I would imagine your second team blueprints must look pretty good too. If you have this many reds, so it's fine, man. You're doing fine with everything else here. I don't see a problem. 24. Let me see this again. Yeah. So don't worry about air. Ignore that. Keep pushing the tank mastery. It's the best thing you can do. Everything else, look at this. Your friggin' tech looks great, bro. I actually love your setup. You're in great shape. Yep, you're in great shape. Stick with missile and go to tank. Not very rare that we talk about that, but in your case, 100% the best choice. All right. Nebraska. Moving right along. Who else do we have? Hi, can I have your input regarding my 4+1 lineup? Planning to stick with this squad as we are going into season 5 next week. I want to know where I can improve for my lineup. I will be sharing a screenshot of my battle earlier during this. I am currently trying to figure out what could be the best way to spend my EW shards in my inventory. Okay, up Lucius EW to 25. Up Murphy EW to level 20. No. All right, so far, this, I don't even have to look at your team. Lucius wins over the Murphy idea. Save for Morrison EW. Nope. Still Lucius. And push it to level 30 when no, Lucius. And we'll up Lucius EW to level 25. Why is everybody else push to level 30, push, and then this one's level 25? Like, why not just push Lucius to 30? I haven't looked at your team yet, but that's my first thought. So season 5 next week. You did not say what kind of spender you were. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. So I don't know if you're spending money, but if you're going into season 5, I'll try to do best guess based on what your team looks like. Make sure I have the right person. Yep, Tara, you're on the left. All right, cool. I'm good there. Wait. Okay. Yeah, you'll be using this for majority of the season, by the way. Morrison doesn't come out until the end, so. And frankly, like, yes, Morrison is better to have 5 EWs than Sarah. However, I will tell you, by the time you get to the end of the season, if you couldn't push Morrison's exclusive weapon in season 5 and you just rode with Sarah and Murphy, not the end of the world. Not with the 4+, you still have the 4+1 card. So you ride that out into the season and then push Morrison's EW, it wouldn't be the end of the world. You'd be all right. These look amazing, and you don't have to keep pushing. Like at this point, if you're using Murphy for 4+1, you're fine at 10. You don't have to keep pushing him to 20. You're good. You're going to get enough advantage. Push your T1s at this point. That's your investment is air. Stop pushing Murphy. However, I would be pushing Lucius to 30. So definitely want to push Lucius to 30. Now, I only say that about Morrison because Morrison comes out ridiculously late in the season. It's so ridiculous how late Morrison comes out. It's almost like you feel like you've sat with your entire air team for the whole damn season without him and been just fine with the 4+1 card. So, I don't know. I would say go ahead. Like, go play the rest of the season with him. But no doubt, trying to get Morrison to exclusive 20. You said 30 here, and this is what confuses me. So if I had my choice, because you're saying save for Morrison EW and push it to level 30 when it comes out. So my choice would be with all of those shards that you're saying, if you have 2,750 shards, I would get Morrison to 20 and Lucius to 30. I don't know why your choice, it doesn't make any sense that the option is when it comes out, push this to level 30, but then you only have enough shards to go from 20 to 25 for Lucius. That doesn't, the choices don't make any sense here. So if you have the option to get EW to 30 from 0 to 30, get it to 20 and get Lucius to 30. I think that was your only question. Gear looks great. Based on this, I don't know. Going into season 5, I'd rear towards your low spending. I don't think you're free to play. Based on your exclusives alone, I wouldn't guess you're free to play. I'm thinking that you're a spender. Chips look great. Yeah, you're doing good with tech. Stop with the splitting. Finish air at 100. And then finish defense, by the way. Get the power out of siege and get the power out of defense after you finish air. Yeah. Otherwise, bro, I think you're fine. So that would be my assessment for your question. Right? This is what? 23 minutes. Live on 5:30. Okay, there you go. One more. Do another one here. I have focused on tanks, still focusing completed tank mastery and all tank research. Okay. Started air mastery, but stopped and catching up on CGs and defense. Okay, like that. Should I focus on air mastery next or switch to missile? Higher EW in air 2, mostly EW 10. Okay. All right, budget's about 250, spent about 600 a month for a while. Okay. See what you're working with here for tank. Defense. Why are you? I don't know why you're pointing at siege. Yeah, I would push defense before I move. Before I do anything else on here, I'm doing this. Again, this is a T1 conversation right now. Get out of your T1. So if you get the power out of siege, get the power out of defense. Do not leave this at 28%. Enormous mistake. I see people leave that all the time. It's such a mistake. It's your T1. Complete your defense fortifications. Incredibly important. And then you can go and get your aircraft mastery next. I mean, that's kind of your question to see if it's going to be your air or what. But if your one is clearly going to be missile or tank, I'm sorry. I think you said your first was tank. Then your second's going to be missile. Let's see what you got here. Yeah, so you're 62. 62. Yep, this is right. Where did you say what season are you going into, by the way? Oh, you didn't say. Okay, I wish I knew what season he was going into. Where's your? You didn't see your exclusives yet. Oh, okay. So you're going into your season 6. Okay. So season 6, you're probably free to play. Your exclusives look pretty good. You didn't. You can don't get push this. Make sure. I hope you're doing this to 20. That would be your next move. Okay, so you're definitely going to stick tank. Yeah, free to play. Why are you doing you're doing a front? This I hope this is like World Boss or something, bro. This is a terrible decision to do a lineup of Stetman first and Kim second. I don't give a shit what you're getting out of it. That's not a smart lineup. Yeah, I mean, you're showing you're trying to be like, hey, look, I beat this person. They had a 70. I'm only a 61, so I won 9 million. Yeah, okay, you got your counter. The enormous difference in the gear, bro. I mean, we know how much this decide fights. We saw what happened to me earlier when I didn't have gear. So that's a big difference. Also, that person's missile, you're 100% mastery, and they're only 10% mastery. That tells an enormous story. So there's more to meet the eye than just like, oh yeah, look, I conquered 9 with that Stetman thing in the front. Yeah, it's not something I would envision. But anyway, your question of you got now, say, focus on air mastery next or switch to missile. No, because I think you should continue with tank. I think you're so far along with tank, you should continue with tank. And tank's number 1, then that means missiles number 2. I don't even think you should use air. You don't need it. Why do you need air? You're going into season 6. You're fine. I don't think you should switch at all. I think you should stay missile or tank as your number 1, and then I would focus solely on missile as your number 2. And I would really only do it as it falls off. I guess you're free to play. You got a long way to go, man, because you still have to get your T1 with all these exclusives up. So you really can't even afford to worry about a T2 right now. You will eventually as we move forward. As you can tell, this is what I'm talking about, by the way, when I talk about T2s all the time with people out there. Free to play, low spend. Look at this. This guy's free to play. And look, he's got 30 and 30 and 25 and 18. You don't think that eventually these are all going to be 30? And he doesn't need a 30 here if he's going to use Adam for his lineup. He doesn't even need it. But the other thing I would tell you is I'd love to know where Williams is in this, especially in season 6. Williams level 30 exclusive is really good. Overwhelm is phenomenal for tank. So I at some point, I don't know when you're planning on using William. Did I see Williams in your? What, you just don't even? Yeah, you're not even using Williams. Okay, so yeah, bro, you definitely need to look at upping Williams' exclusive weapon to 30 and utilize him, especially if you're going into season 6. Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, I would be prioritizing. You got work to do with your tank team, man. Unfortunately, you're spending, if you're like it says you're spending $600 a month for a while. Your budget's $250. I'll tell you what, your gear looks great. I would be pushing those exclusives anywhere they offer them, in the events, in the games, or whatever. You need to push Williams exclusive to 30 and get the rest of your team to 30 exclusive. That's what I would say is your number 1 priority. But play your tank team. There's nothing wrong with tank. You've already invested all that. In tank, be tank. Be tank and then be missile. Live with it. All right. We've reached our time limit. We have to go do Global Expedition. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I was looking. Let me give this guy a fair shot here. I was looking at some old stuff he sent. My score went up a little bit. He shared more stuff down here. I mean, it's not going to change. It's not going to change my mind based on this. I still say you're tank 1, you're missile 2. Yeah, same thing. You're fine. I mean, this is fine, but I don't care. Like, you really need to. Everything needs to go in your tank. Tank till everybody's 30. Stop with this. Put it in the tank. Or put it in the missile. Your missile will be your second. You're going to be a tank missile team. They're very viable, very good. Going up a little bit since I last posted. I don't care about your power. Your gear is the same. Dude, send me battle reports. I don't know why you're stuck on the Stetman Kim front load. I want to see you in Winter Storm. I want to see you hit somebody with this lineup and lose, and then I want to see you hit somebody with, I don't know, do a traditional lineup. Hit them with Murphy and no, do Murphy and Kim. Do Murphy Kim in the front. Replace Stetman with Murphy, and then hit that same person. And I want to see what you get. And have them be stronger so they beat you. I want to see you in a loss. I want to see what your damage looks like. Because I'm not buying that. So I have some updates. I didn't want to delete the original and didn't mean to spam this thread. I got season points and added 2 mythic raiders. This guy keeps pumping up his gear. I mean, Jesus, bro. They sending videos in? Oh, these you show me. I would guess that I would love to see you send a battle report against air. That tank lineup against air. I bet you air would demolish you. You keep sending these counter lineups, but unless you're fixing this in all battles, when somebody air, is this a good air? This person any good? Yeah, see, you lost. Okay, now let me see this, because I would guess they plow Stetman. Any strong air is going to go through Stetman like butter. Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't beat you faster. That's yeah. You can't. That stuff doesn't stand. But that's the point. Like when you're out in a battlefield and you're in a kill event, you're going to run into air. We just talked about. There's more airs out there than anybody else. So why would you want to set up this lineup where air is just going to plow you? And you got to fix that, man. I don't like that at all. Okay. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't change though how I think you should still progress the same exact way I said it and focus on your tank. Either way. Yeah, I mean, you're same with your tank exclusives here. You already got Stetman to 20. You moved him to 26. Look at this. You're going to push these just fine. Oh shit, man! You're going to have tank done in no time. You'll have everybody to 30. Where is Williams? That is my question. My question for you is still remains the same. Where the hell is Williams? Get Williams going, bro. Invest in Williams. That would be your number one job that I would say for you. Invest in Williams. But message me if you have any questions. Talking aside, if you have anything else you want to go over. All right, let me go back to Global Expedition. I wasn't even looking at chat. Sorry. It could be about time. This guy in season 3 has better chips than I do in season 6, and he's thought I engaged live. Hey, welcome in, Double. Welcome in, guys. Spidey, I shared a battle report with you where the opponent is lower in almost every way, but I still check it. Spidey, I can't, brother. I'm trying to switch to so I get into this. I start looking at this stuff, Spidey, and I mean, I'll end up in battle reports all day. Come to Sunday night. How about that, Spidey? I promise I will check it for you live on Sunday. How about that? I got to do Global Expedition, and already we're running out of time. All right, let me go through let me just go find the lineups that anybody had here. And see what we got. I promised I would check. All right, so somebody wanted Mario says him. Okay, so he wants to do the missile, and he wants Kim. I keep losing all the comments. Kim Murphy. That meant Marshall loses. Kim Murphy. Setman, Marshall, Lucius. Okay. $25 for Mario? Nope. Nope. No good, my man. No good. Let's see. Who else do we have? We had Palantar says McGregor, Swift, the owner. What do you have? Was that in the first one? We're only doing the first two, man. You want to use a tank instead here, or a missile instead of here? I'll put it in for you. McGregor, Swift, Fiona, Adam, Tesla. Swift. I wish they allow me to pull this bar up so I can see more heroes and click on them more at once. Oh, beggars can't be choosers. No, sir. Defeat. No good. No good, Palantir. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else have any for level 1 or level 2? Level 1 or level 2? Beat the lineup. $25 in bricks. I think that's all we got tonight. I think those are the only ones we're guessing. All right. Spectrum want to do another shot? Spectrum going to try it again. Spectrum's the only one that's won. All right. You going to show that daddy whatever guy the value of Williams? You going to show him, Spectrum, why he should be working on Williams? Never seen somebody ignore Williams. Crazy. Hate's gone too far. Marshall instead. All right. Spectrum get another $25? Oh, we did it again. Spectrum did it twice now. He beat it once. Man. Way to work, Spectrum. Way to work. $25 for Spectrum again. Man, my man is 2-0 so far in this. 2-0. That's how it's done. I feel like I'm at a carnival. That's how it's done, folks. That easy. It's that easy. See what happens? Are you giving it to Bun again? You let me know, Spectrum. My God. Oh, boy. You are going to be on Bun's good side. That is for sure. Wait until she hears this. All right. I love it. I love it. Great job, Spectrum. Great job. Anybody else? Anybody else have... Oh, he says... Ant says he has one. Where do you have one, Ant? Did you put it in chat? There were so many friggin' messages, bro. I was trying to catch them all, but I didn't see one. Did you put one in the chat? Did I miss it at top? Oh, I see you. I saw your face. You were signing in. Did you give it to me? I don't see it, Ant. All right, Ant. You got... What do you got? All right, Ant says McGregor, Stetman, Kim, Murphy. For Arena 1. 1? He says 1. He said 1 or 2. Whichever it works. Whichever one it works. I mean, you just gave me an all. Okay, so you want McGregor in. All right, well, you know what? I'm going to do it for you on both. I'll do it for both teams. How about that? Yeah, McGregor, Statman, Kim. All right. McGregor, Statman. Murphy and Marshall. Ant for 25. No good. Wah, wah, wah. All right, we'll try it on. I'll try it on the second team. I'll try it on the second team for you. Stetman. You want Kim. You want Murphy and Marshall. I'll tell you, Williams is taking a freaking beating today. All right, here we go. We're gearing up for Ant. Ant going, running, and nope. Nope. No good there, Ant. No good. That's all we have. All right, so good. That's all we have for today. Then by all means, guys, send over more lineup or get them ready at least for Sunday night. We'll be doing this again, and we'll probably stick to Area 1 and 2 for Sunday night, and then that'll be the last day we do Area 1 and 2, and then we'll move on to 3 and 4 for Monday night. Hold on. No. This guy wearing Jim Gregor tons today. Let me know. Yeah. You know what you should. Nobody said is we just looked at that battle report. Nobody tried to do the old Stetman Kim. And then who do you have? He had Stetman, Kim, Murphy, Marshall, and Adam. Is what he had. Yeah, just as I suspected. Got throttled. Well, Kim was more impactful there, but Stetman keeps dying, like immediately. See? That's exactly what I said. Was going to happen anyway. I mean, even in the PvP, it's going to happen. And this is against a strong tank team. That's happening. Stetman's defense can't hold up in a 1 position. And the pure tank is on there. Classic. Oh, he wants a classic, he says. Don't we have a class that already what do I have that one so far in this one? Was it we just did Williams Kim. I'll give it to you, Mario. I'll give it to you. You only have one. Murphy, Williams. Good. At least you give Williams some respect around these parts. That Kim Marshall. Yay! You got it, buddy. You won. You won. Mario got $25. Let's see how far you would have went. Actually, I didn't even think it would have won. May win more than one. Yes, sir. Look at this. 2, 3, oh. Blah, blah, blah. There you go. Boom. Got 4 out of it, buddy. All right, Mario. Hit me up on Discord with your user ID. $25. $25 in bricks, sir. Good work, sir. Good work. Beat up classic lineup. Spectrum, what happened? You've been topped. You've been topped, my man. That's all right. I'll tell you what, we're gonna beat Global Expedition one at a time. We're gonna sandbox this bitch one at a time. One at a time. All right, guys, good stuff. So yeah, $25 out for 2 people today. Good contest. All right, so that is all for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hopefully a good time. We will be back on Sunday evening. There may be something that pops up if I have a good battle or something that I'm doing, or something going on. But otherwise, guys, enjoy your weekend. Appreciate you. Guys could have been anywhere Saturday, and you chose to be with us. And for that, I truly appreciate you. QB18, out.